Alright, let's get this started because ultimately we are only moments away here before we get into game. Oh hey, a stream. Glad I'm on Twitch literally every single day so I can just check the live list and not have to memorize streamer schedules. Hey, that's pretty darn good. I'll do my best. I know I asked that question earlier today regarding talking about when I can do better with streaming schedules. So, I don't know what the efficient way to go about that is yet, but we'll figure it out. All right, we will figure it out. I want to thank everyone who showed up thus far, and those of you who, of course, contributed to the points total. Atmosai, Elixirs, Kindly Monkey, Interceder. Thank you for dropping your channel points there. 489,000, the current total we have managed to make it to. And today, I'm feeling pretty lucky. I'm feeling like we're going to hit that 500,000 goal there. So, we'll let it go. We'll let it go. You guys, let me know, by the way, how the audio is doing all day long. Whether it be the game, whether it be my microphone. I mean, if it peaks, it peaks. That's just me being me. But let me know how the audio track is doing because I am attempting to do something quite different, which is streaming to multiple platforms today because I'm officially live on YouTube and all these other places now. It's kind of crazy. Look at this. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me go. All right. All right. Very cool. Hopefully I can get on the TikTok platform eventually. There we go. Grap. Apricot Salmon. Pabizi. Thank you so much. You guys are breaking us over the hump there. 7,000 to go. Zephyr, who should I play and not tell my teammates until I lock it in? It's gotta be something good. Elixirs. Oh, 2. You're KSU Black. That's right. I'm here, you know. No, you're not there. What's something just completely trash? What would be bad? Oh, the match is starting. I'm going to jump over to in-game while I still have the opportunity to do so. Yes. Vantage. Vantage is always my favorite pickup. I'll watch it too. If you play Vantage, but you gotta snipers mark it up. I want your inventory to be half filled with those ultimate accelerants. That's like my favorite thing on the earth. Castle Crasher, thank you for the points. I forgot to do a prediction. Over, under, 4. Match quality. It's a 4 because Bellevue is in the lobby, and so is UFC. You guys only have 2 minutes to get that in. Over, under, 4.0, match quality. Get your bets in. There we go. I am not warm, says Not Koryu. I was definitely behind on getting this started here, so I do not know efficiently what all teams are here. I was only able to check out half of them. Hey! By the way, I want to shout out a couple of people because that follow reminds me. Doovie, thank you for the follow. But of course, Big Lucy, 15 minutes ago. Falcon Best, 2 hours ago. Stale AF, yesterday. Spoiled Coleslaw, and Rossier Donut. Thank you so much for the follows. No Jukesy on Bellevue, over 4.0. Hey, get your bets in. I don't know what we'll do with those point totals, but I mean, it's important to me. All right. We got a couple of rosters here, some premier level, some contenders level. Oh, gosh, guys, I forgot I'm the one observing. Yeah, that's always fun. All right. Okay, so no PSU blue, at least for game 1 here, but as we take a look at some of the initial drops, the first thing I will note is that we've got, let's see, Tamu White from Contenders, KSU Black from Premier League, the Florida Gators from Premier League, OU Crimson from Contenders, West Virginia Wesleyan, and albeit they don't have OU Duke, they do have Applejacks, Cyber Factor Swipe, Indiana University from Contenders, a Phil team that is a mixture of SNHU and Not Koryu from Iowa State. FSA Try 2, Full Sail Armada. Kind of a weird mixture there. Southeastern Oklahoma. Bellevue, the leading form factor roster. I'm actually going to put me on them for the time being because I'm sure they will explode eventually. Of course, GCU, who I think struggled and missed out. Oh my gosh, is it time? Is it time? Did we finally complete it? Did we really? Oh my gosh. Anyways, UFC, Calgary, Davenport, USU Goats, Crimson Tide, the Alabama roster. The other Full Sail Armada, it looks like they're doing tryouts right now tonight. And then CSUN and NA Varsity and CSUN. All right. We hit 500,000. That means we are officially going to be hosting the ZephyrCast Draft Tournament. I want to thank all of you guys for the absurd, and I truly mean this, absurd amount of watch time and hours that you guys put out there to get that number. That's right, official tourney. The best part is I've already secured the prizing, so we're ready to go. I'm looking to host it the weekend after playoffs. Might have to do multiple days, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll put some more information as time jumps across the board here, but we will see. I need to get a sign-up form out there. Everyone is eligible to participate within the collegiate ecosystem, and so all will be decided. For now, with the University of Calgary, at least of my current position of desire, Meadsy's pulling back here. Of course, across from them, they got a little bit of an exchange. Full Sail Armada's tryout 2 team does have the Phil squad right alongside them. Still leading on height here, and what could be a full send or could explode here a little bit later on. Does seem like now and a couple other squads are in their fight of their own. So I'm going to jump over to KSU Black because it seems like they're on the escape. Could develop, but instead they're running away. All right, back to whatever's going on here. Phil team taking up their time up on top. It seems like Stale has identified that third-party UFC roster down below. While they will break down, they will lose out on one from Lost Aimer on the side here from the interior. Doesn't seem like Full Sail's tri-squad's going to get much further. So let's jump on over to Meadsy for that third party that is inevitable here. Everyone's kind of low around the side, but the Sheila will cut through everything nonetheless like butter here. Couple of deep escapes as the Phil team will be picked apart nonetheless by a Texas A&M white roster also coming through from Zeus Station from behind. Couple of quick wipes there, and it looks like we're just dealing with a few hardy rats. Full Sail's try squad of PB and John is the last remaining member. Couple final peeks there as Grap will be saving the day for just a second. UFC maybe going to take the time to get the recovery back out over to Zed. That portal's got to come through a little bit quicker than that. Shout out to PB and John taking advantage of the situation to get those knocks. My only question is, can he survive longer with Tamu White in the exchange here? Well, point blank, Sheila's right through the door. Grap on one side, Arc on the other. We'll say goodbye to CSUN in the meanwhile as a quick peek leads us to find out that PB and John is already out and away towards the old Thunder Watch here. UFC might be looking for that chase, but the reality is you've got Arc here on the outside, Bocek on the ready. Try to see if you can follow it. Wizard, of course, OY, not Koryu. I want to thank you guys for the multi-stream points there. I'll have to figure out a new community challenge, and for not Koryu, yeah, you get multi-Rampart rammed. It's a bit of an issue. Finally, Arc does find that remaining member there. Point blank with the melee to send Meadsy to the concrete. We'll finish it off with a flashy photo finish here from Arc. Pounded away. Say goodbye. So who had the most points? I'm not quite sure how to check that. I'm hoping it'll tell me somewhere. I don't know where. If anyone can inform me, I'm happy to provide. Let's take a look at Tamu White, maybe looking to finish off the Calgary roster. Seconds to go here. Arc and No, you do need to kind of step up into play. Down below with that launch of the Grav Cannon tells me that they're already on their way out. PB and John in the backside might be looking for recovery. All right, real ones remember, Sir Dragonalot won the last Octane draft with Moose in Escape. Old, ancient history. Not something that I know of. All right, so they're going to recover down there. It seems like we've got a CSUN Esports also struggling. OU, of course, across from Davenport, not too far away. We're getting a little bit of some frame pops. Let's jump on over to Florida Gators because it seems like they've got KSU Black here stuck in the nut building. All right, nade for DC Deshawn. Been missing DC Deshawn here, and that's led to some issues for the Florida Gators this last week in playoffs. Happy to see him back. Getting up on height there. Wriggling Salamander is up above. Well, I mean, we're trading for trades on the interior here. Finally, Castle Crasher will lead on the inside, but misses out the initial pump there from my man Limbo. Full thirst to follow suit, and I don't know why the Florida Gators would send this any much further. The Wriggling Salamanders quickly rotate from behind by Kindly Monkey, and a couple of furthermore beams. Triple take in the hands of Elixirs there. Vantage underway, but ultimately a quick wipe on the Florida Gators. I apologize for some of the frame jumps. We got a little bit of a weird one today with the servers. Meanwhile, back on over to Tamu White. We just saw the Full Sail Armada roster recover here. Ooh, GCU versus Bellevue. All right, we'll take a look at this. This is slightly more important. Bellevue University with Vatari on the outside there. Drops to be found on DV to Denster to make this a 2v2 situation. Jose is going to be sticking for the revive here. Mind you, Alabama also on the hunt. They've heard the shots and they're ready to make their way in. Deviant is lone. This does slow down the fight for now. Bellevue's all the way back up, and I like this port play. Even still, though, Jose is sent upon. Vatari's in that backfield who's going to be able to survive, but the Barbecue King will find the first. All right. Yeah, there's been multiple draft tournaments, Jack. All right. Either way, looks like Vatari will kind of make their way out. Meanwhile, we've got trades for trades with Tamu White. Sadly, we miss it because the servers are a little finicky, and I can't actually get this to click in time here. As a result, it is another Tamu pickup on the kill feed. We are getting this nice pull up towards the northern side here as we lay in piece by piece towards the edge of UFC. Here comes West Virginia Wesleyan, maybe to make their impacts. This high ground or playing from it can be very good. I'd like to see maybe this Tamu White roster rotate through the hillside sometime later. Bellevue with a little bit of recovery there. Couple teams fighting. Davenport still down below, but most rosters already on their way in. 14 squads remaining. Alright. Looks like we've got the full send finally underway here. UFC as a duo. Carvester try as he may. Shot from multiple angles. And the Tamu White roster going to look to finish this one off. Couple of shots from behind, but very quickly do we see Arc turn this one around. Sheila in hand, but having to finish it with the Volt point blank. Up to height, giving them a little bit of a daisy doozy there with the ring around the rosy. Meadsy will be inevitably knocked as UFC are down to just lost aimer. Watch for West Virginia Wesleyan though here. Looking for this third party. They're going to take their time, and you have to wonder if they'll catch him with their pants down. Crap finishes the job on Calgary there, and I think we've got the recovery. Dean, PS, and the rest of the West Virginia roster are going to look. 500 ping? Am I on 500 ping? Who's on 500 ping? I'd like to know. Xanax Nation, help me out. All right, ultimately here, West Virginia Wesleyan. A couple of chunky shots await the remnants of Tamu White. Holding a nice little bit of a line of POS. Meanwhile, I will say OU finding success against Davenport in the kill feed over here towards wall won't result in a push. All right. A couple of long shots there as White has 32 seconds to start creeping towards this zone. One big issue I see with this right now is you do have Dean PS a little bit further forward, which can result in maybe a knock drive. Evac tower already brought up there. No, that's a Valkyrie ultimate. Finds its way from along the pooch, and they're going to be able to present themselves up towards this high ground or in these walls here, however they see fit. We'll say goodbye to the USU Goats as GCU does a great job defending down south in the wall area. I'm mostly interested in this follow-through. Most snipers mark available. Elixir's pushing forward. We gotta spectate him because he promised to play the Vantage here today in Scrims. A beautiful incendiary grenade will find those first knocks available. Limbo down to port play will push them back in their stead as full wipes against the second Full Sail Armada roster will bring the Full Sail Armada team to their end here. Now, OU not far away, trying to share a very similar space here within the exact same building. Limbo will face some of those first initial little bit of damage as OU gets the breaks nonetheless on Kindly Monkey trying to retake this position here. We'll see what they can do as Arc from afar is now getting involved as Indiana from the outside. Yeah, the observer ping's going up and down like crazy. It always hurts a man like me. We can only do our best in moments like these. Either way, we still get to tell a pretty darn good story. Swipe, Cyber, Factor, now in a moment where they are getting targeted here on the outskirts. There's the leap from Elixirs on the outside as they might chase this one away here. That could be that final remaining member. You can hear a little bit of the exchange as Elixir's going to escape down to the low ground. All right. Well, KSU Black's probably going to get sniped out here in just a moment. Swipe's still trying to chase this one out. Meanwhile, pretty good knocks from Tamu up on high ground here. West Virginia Wesleyan are trying to set themselves up, but beautiful Sheila from afar. DMPS did get that response onto Grap for a 2v2 exchange, so no use sticking that revive for the time being as those walls will give them minor coverage. It's actually a pretty darn good wall, but it's an even worse Sparrow ultimate here. Mind you, you do have Bellevue on the backside looking to full thirst this. They've got Tamu White in their line of sight here. This is that perfect position they want to take advantage of for the end game. Now, Bellevue doesn't lose these 9 times out of 10. The best roster in all of Premier League here. We'll see how it goes. Muffin sliding down and Vatari potentially looking to chase this out. Click for click on the burn in the back line. Just taking his time. Utilizing Tamu White's walls against them. We'll switch out with Muffin to see if they can get the exchange here. But Tamu White doing a decent job to apply pressure back. That Sheila's going to run them against it. And, well, they'll hold on for now here. Now, remember, this is going to slightly pull up to height here. So teams like GCU, Davenport, West Virginia Wesleyan's DMPS, who made their way all the way down, will have to recover. Muffins up to the exchange here. A single 22 found in the backfield. That wall no better as it continues to pressure them. Health v health. Vatari trying to make this rotate sneakily all the way around the edge, but they lose out on Jose. And, well, Muffins ain't long for this world. Forced to go down to the low ground is now Tamu White has to deal with another roster here on the outerior. CSUN Esports Black with not much more to themselves. Take a look down to the low ground as Southeastern will be wiped out by a quick remnant of the KSU Black roster. And Oklahoma Crimson to see what they're going to maybe get involved here. Meanwhile, try to take a look at some of these wall teams, even if it will be difficult there. Guillermo does find at least a single knock against the Davenport roster, but they are immediately able to get themselves exchanged. Tamu White, though, this is the push against CNU, and they've already got the double knock drops here, but they are getting shot down from the low ground. No one has shields available, and Bellevue is on this low side. They can easily take a 2v3 if they catch you. Trying to take away that height there. Graf turns around. He just as quickly faces the knock from Muffins here. CSUN very, very low. Vatari Muffins holding height down. That's the full thirst on the Grap. One massive move against CSUN. Comes back to bite Texas A&M in the bullet here. Arkanoyu forced to move to the low ground as Muffins and Vatari begin to continue moving forward here. What was such a good position was given away for roughly nothing. I know they want to get some of those thirsts, but Tamu White is the pinch. Yeah, kind of troll. Did not need to happen. Let's take a look at Davenport here on their rotate. They're getting pressured out there by Alabama. Now opting to take a surprisingly free building here in the heart of zone. Getting sniped out. You can hear some of those shots from Elixirs on the outerior. Here comes Bellevue, by the way, trying to see if they can play into a 2v3 situation. Up above, Muffins with 134. Shots from the other side of the blockade. And for Bellevue, They got to choose different approaches to the fight here. Vatari still on type, and GCU taking their time to recover. We are going to these buildings right here. West Virginia's single rat will be found out, and I'm just so curious to see if Bellevue will actually send it on the 2v3. You didn't know the team was under that area, Grap? You know, it happens, but just take your time on those zone plays in, right? You already have Godspot. Just work your way in from height, and every time you make a decision, just really, really look out there. All right, Muffins and Vatari instilling what might be the fervor of this roster here, trying to look for that full thirst. We'll find Archangel. Now it is a 2v2 scenario. Vatari takes the brunt of that damage, but they get the knock onto the barbecuing nonetheless. A couple long-range runs from GCU means nothing when you've got Bellevue taking a look at you. Full commits from KSU will also say goodbye to the Alabama roster as we break into our top 5. Elixir's just barely able to get back into safety. Jukesy, glad to have you here, even if you aren't playing. We haven't heard the person because you don't be sad. Pray for us. Hey, pray for you where we do. All right. Yeah, Jukesy's been benched. He's been spending a little too much time on Twitter. We had to put him back. All right. So, KSU Black getting that late-term respawn on Limbo. It's taken them all game long. I believe they just got that Moby there from the last second. Meanwhile, Sniper's Mark in play from Elixirs. This is the advantage I've been waiting to see. And by advantage, I say the troll pick that Elixirs promised he would utilize here. We're going to take a look at it because, honestly, I want to see it. Couple of car shots there to get rid of the barrels as, of course, Vatari is in play. I can't imagine it's going to be long for this world as Bellevue got at least one back up. Big nades blast as the rest of Bellevue is back here. They got that knock onto Artis Lucas and break through the stairwell one piece at a time. Sheila ain't going to do much when he got nowhere to run with it there. Flesh for flesh, Bellevue finds the wipe. Meanwhile, OU Crimson and KSU Black don't settle out this fight as quickly as they need to, so you're just a waiting, lingering party from Bellevue. Look as they take their times here. KSU Black on the outerior, they should play this further away to try and survive and push the fight. Instead, it's Kindly Monkey accidentally inting off of the level. Rest in peace, Mr. Monkey. All right, so OU Crimson gets a freebie there, and realistically, we're just waiting for the Bellevue cleanup. They got a final full thirst here that they're going to pick up as they find this rat. There goes CSUN Esports. Meanwhile, OU taking their time. All right. Here we go. OU Crimson will get shot there at the end. Muffins and Vatari, though, already taking space on the outside here to really control whatever exits they may see. Little bit of height there from Jose. Vatari deep in the backside covering the door. And Muffins staring at a fence. You know, that's how it goes. Either way, they're going to win the game, so we might as well enjoy it while we see it fit. You guys want to see some Vantage gameplay, though? I want to see some Vantage gameplay. We already know Bellevue's going to win. Let's see if he can make the Sniper's Mark work for him here. All right, smoked out in his exchange. Take a look at the opposite building. There ain't nobody there. All right, Elixirs, you're going to have to put these bullets where they count against Bellevue. Take your time. Knows Vatari is over kind of on the side there. 50 found, but going to hide behind that grav cannon to prevent it. Now you're down to 3 bullets. Missing on 1. Come on, Elixirs. Jose finds a drop, but just when they need it most, there's no more bullets to believe in. Elixirs now getting shot from the outside of Bellevue and finds the cracks. Limbo with the knock onto Jose on the other side. Oh, but do they get that full thirst? Jose's crawling back to Vatari in the time being here. Meanwhile, OU Crimson could commit initially. All right, Elixir's got another bullet in the chamber. There goes Jose. Bellevue are now a duo. He's going to make a launch to the cross back against the fence line, and they have put a thorn in the side of KSU. OU now the only full roster left alive, and KSU Black has decided to int the Bellevue that be. Now for the Crimson team, this is as easy as it gets. A single remaining member of Bellevue with nowhere to go. Congratulations, Boomer, Sooner, OU Crimson, your winners of Game 1. All right, folks. I'll be honest. I might have cast or cursed him. I think I might have cast or cursed him there. I apologize. It's about as bad as it gets. I said Bellevue were gonna win it, but the reality is, how does it feel when you've got KSU running the lobby? Is Zephyrstream having a stroke? Oh yeah, it is. Oh no. We're having some slight frame drops. By slight, it's about like 3%. Always rough. Always rough. All right. We'll see what happens there. Might be shit in the bed. Here, let me check something real quick. Let me see. Let me check something real quick on Task Manager. No, I'm not really pushing my CPU very much. I'm pushing my GPU a little bit, but not particularly. Sometimes it's just bummy whatever. Advanced should be doing dynamically change the bit rate. Yeah. Well, we'll do what we can. Not much I can do for open frame rate across the board there, as we are starting to accelerate a little bit. All right. Well, meanwhile, let's see how it goes. I might have to tune back the multi-streams on a later date. But I did like the Vantage, by the way, from Elixirs. I thought that was solid. Hopefully things will inevitably come back here because we are chugging along at a much lower bit rate. I'm supposed to... There might have been a setting I turned on that is messing with this. I know which one it is. Ooh, I can't change it while I'm streaming. Okay, I'm going to try something. Actually, no, I can't, because if I stop it, it's like, it takes forever to get it set back up. Who is Diaz? Does he need subs? I have no idea who that is. All right. Well, for now, Bellevue are in the lead. KSU Black with 12 KP there. Just barely keep themselves in stride. OU does make the win, but they just don't have a lot of KP for themselves there. So while it isn't the strongest, it is a little rough. So we're going to see how they can potentially catch up as time goes on. Tamu White finishes with a monumental 14 KP. That's a pretty massive number there, actually beating out both Bellevue and KSU Black. It's their shoddy placement that hold them back from topping out on the board. Even making it into 6th or 5th place would have been massive for them there. No one else really comes particularly close coming off of our game 1. All right. Dang, it doesn't even tell me who contributed the most points. I'm so sad, guys. That's like the whole point. Oh, we are like ballooning. Beep, 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 beep. Let me see. I'm going to do like a 2-second check on the program feed to see if we are struggling or we're chuggling. Let me pause that real quick. Close that. All right. Let me see how bad it is on my end. It doesn't look too terrible. We're very delayed, though. You should do listen-ins on the team streaming. That would be fire. I would love to do like a legit team stream. Problem is it's like it's just very, very difficult to load up a bunch of the Twitches and then deliver them with quality. I don't mind it, but I just find it super annoying. And then on top of that, especially when I do the team listens in, there's nothing personally that I would enjoy saying, right? Like if I'm listening to a team, I'm just going to sit there and shut up, right? And so if I set up the stream for a team stream, I don't even feel like particularly casting it, you know? I just want to sit there and listen to the stream, you know?
Twisted Minds! What the?
It's not bad all the time, but it freezes pretty often. I'm pretty sure that's because I'm actually in Apex. Fun fact, you guys are hearing me reply to your questions probably about a minute to like 30 seconds to a minute when the delay is supposed to be 10 seconds, and that's because all the frames are dropping. So, yes. Banned from Twitch. Oh, by the way, Xanax Nation, thank you for the follow. Today was the first time attempting one more additional stream. Here's the thing, though. During playoffs, it worked just fine. Well, I did hit it 100%. 100% on the day. 100% on the dub. So, pretty big moment there. Nope, bit rate's at 6K. All right, we might have gotten connection back a little bit from what I can see, albeit I am going to be slightly delayed because of it. So I think we're all right for now. It's a cost of living out where I live. All right. Let's jump back in game while we have the time being, because we're getting ready to hop into our game 2. Right now, we got a little bit of a toss-up between all of the rosters here. Of course, we saw Bellevue almost eke out on the win, but a little inting from KSU Black gives OU Crimson the takeaway as Tamu White is on the hunt here in the Northeast. Another storm point to deliver for the time being. The rules you gotta hear all too many mention. See, that's also a thing when it comes to doing the teams, like the team stream, like listening to players talk. It isn't always the most wonderful thing to listen to, and especially if I'm streaming to a bigger and bigger audience, I have to be a little careful there. So, I don't think about what I'm saying while playing. I know there's a lot of players who don't, and ultimately, I've had to take action on a few of them a couple of times, especially at TAMU when I was coaching. When is the event? I'm trying to get it scheduled for what will be, hopefully, that following weekend. So, what is that, 6 plus 7? 6 plus 7, that's 6 plus 7, 6, 7, 13. That'll be 13 or the 14th, I think. I'm not quite sure. Alright. Well, we're back in game. Let us, the biggest place I'm most curious to see is up here because we had that full send earlier on. But we'll join in with our winners to start the game. Said the thing? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm getting ready to pull up the 6-7 thingy. The 6-7 Mimi. Oh, gosh. Every single time I start this stream, by the way, I'm so disgustingly in love with that, what's it called? The college music. So, I like hearing the marching bands. Alright. Nothing to start initially off the rip here. I didn't get to see where we had Calgary play from, so they are in command center, so it was kind of aggressive for them. They make this drop and move into it. Did you see what happened, Zephyr? In Trash Talk? No, I did not. I have no idea who, what, where, and why occurred. of December or November. It would be in December. So playoffs are 6th, 7th for Collegiate. And beyond that, I would try to get it 13th and 14th. Is there a website or something where I can see all the teams participating in this league? Fun fact, there is. It is a fan-made website made by USM. Oh, that was a double. Oh my gosh, that was a double collat. That was a double collat. Oh, that was kind of sick, Meadsy. That was kind of hot with it. Someone got timed out for calling someone's wife a torta. Jesus. Come on, guys. Woo! Shot back from afar. Arc the Charge Rifleman finally lives up to his name. Of course, when we tune over to him, he'll miss a couple extra shots there, but Meadsy's going to get this free revive up top. We'll take a look on that maybe a little bit later. Could see something balloon here. KSU Black, GCU, and OU. Zephyr's a, yeah, maybe. We're going to see the investment potentially from KSU Black. They love to send it when they can. Kindly Monkey will lead that one as they get some cracks from afar. Watch OU, though, behind this here. That can lead in pretty distinctly. All right, here we go. Up to height with the first send. That's a bit of a miss and a whip on the 99 shots. It doesn't get much better. At least you got Limbo to finish the job. Up to the other angle and into the stairwell there. We'll find the following knock. One final remaining member will send GCU back to the drawing board. OU Crimson, though, just as quickly trying to get them in on this third party. Maggie Ball on the response as Presso's trying to play the zip line to get them situated. KSU Black's just missing out on the white health there on the interior. The guys whose wife was called a tourist start flexing the cars. Come on. What are we doing? All right. Here we go. OU doesn't really get the exchange there, and with Kindly Monkey already making their way out there, even still, Pabizi on the backside still catches Limbo down. Bit of a shame to say, and in the end, that's going to force KSU out of the equation. Granted, they are a capable team in terms of setting themselves up. CSUN will be wiped out by West Virginia Wesleyan in the meanwhile. We'll jump back over to Tamu White. We saw how aggressive they got last time around. No U up on height. Arc just as well. Crack for crack as No U is low. Meanwhile, the rest of the Calgary roster try to set themselves up, but they trade for Grap in the meanwhile. Down lower. Needs to get these corner peaks there as No U is ticking away. 1-for-1 on the inside as a phase will be utilized to get the rest of Calgary safe here on the edge of that door. That's going to give Arc the time to heal this one up and rotate on the outside. Sheila in hand, and there's nothing that Arc loves more than shredding through the competition. And congratulations to Tamu White. They finish off another lovely UFC. And a congrats to the rest of the rosters who ran this one away. Let's take a look at Indiana University because they got Bellevue on their heels here. A tune-in with Vattery leads me to believe that, well, a couple of hip-fire shots will get the job done every single time. USU aren't far behind here, though. Naxlow trying to start this out. Goth Mommy on the hike there as Blank is taken incredibly low, hyper quickly here. And there's the wall bounce from Bellevue to lead into a double knock of 2. A quick USU eliminated, and that's 6 KP on the board for the leaders of Octane. You say holy fraudery, I say, well, you can't prove what you can't something. I don't know what I say. Nothing I just said any sense there. All right, Full Sail try number 1 will be wiped out at the heart of wherever Alabama is. Meanwhile, West Virginia Wesleyan, they want to get involved here on CSUN. Exchange for exchange. You got to be a little careful. Already, though, West Virginia doing a good job to get that first break. It is a lifeline roster, so you have to get these confirmed knocks. Meanwhile, you had to hit the pumps. Had to hit the pumps on the shotty. Turns around to the other side, and you've got nowhere to go. Team PS should have committed for the exchange there as the lifeline on the inside is going to start trying to cook this one up. Nade for nade. They'll trade this one on the exterior. Meanwhile, Dean on the inside with Guilt those full thirsts. There we go. Double knocks down, and it's up on height here that West Virginia have to contest with. A quick response from Tamu White means they have gotten involved. Meanwhile, It will be no you knocked on the interior. Grap, the last remaining member left alive, means the third party wasn't that good. Big payback. You sicken me. I would agree. How you doing, buddy? Alright. Well, Tamu White's going to have to fly for the sky here. And the nice thing is, with most of these teams rotating, should be able to get the revive on this particular lane. By the way, I'm mailing you like 5 of my Gunpla I don't want to do. Merry Christmas. Yes! Yes! Which ones? Which ones? Rah! Rah! Which ones? Which ones? Which ones? Did you see my leg I did today? I was doing some sick one. I'll send a snap. Heck yeah. Hey, OI, thank you so much. Alright, we got a little bit of the PSU Blue roster about to deal with the Titans, that is Vattery and the Bellevue Cool. That is a nice real grade? I know, right? Whoa! Smoke glitching out there on the sound font. Juxie leading with Vattery not far behind, and PSU don't even understand. They don't understand the force that awaits them here. You better be running, and I wouldn't even say gunning, because Juxie with that first knock means your end is nah. Alright, so you do have SNHU on the outside, maybe look at that third party, but I mean, they don't even last. Bellevue immediately gets to turn around here, and that's a massive chunk of cracks and damage. Double flesh found, and Vattery might have to pull away, but the rest of Octane, the rest of Bellevue, are just so quickly to assault upon this. For folks who are just tuning in, who don't know anything about Collegiate Apex, Bellevue is the #1 roster currently in Octane Collegiate. They just won the Premier Match Point Finals during the regular season, and they have former Pro League member Muffins, former Pro League member Vattery, and former #1 ranked player Juxie. It is the height of Apex Legends there. Muffins with a drop with the bow check. Another knock from Vattery, and the last remaining member here of the Phil team, not Koryu from ISU Red. Well, contenders that may be, you'll get shot in the head down here by Bellevue. Now up to what I believe is 12 KP here. They got a long way to go on the zone, but they might be just looking for more. Big fly and a launch for West Virginia Wesleyan as they'll run right back in here to the exchange against Tamu White, contesting building for building. What up, Speed Demon? Welcome to the broadcast. Applejack, though, gets sniped out by the Sheila there up on height, and Kind Drake and Dean PS might have to set themselves back up, though. Ooh, trade for the flesh, and Dean PS could peek this one out. No, you drop a crack up above, and Dean PS is so close to turning this around, but the double Sheila knock here is too much to contest with. A Sheila of Applejack's home, though, is trying to make short work of the squad. Gets the knock on Grap, is going for the full thirst there to put a thorn in Tamu's side. Meanwhile, wall for wall, if Tamu just sends it on this fight, the job is done. You never paid out game 1 prediction? All right. We'll get to it afterwards. I was contesting with stream quality there. All right. Looks like a little bit of a runaway from West Virginia. The knock in full as Tamu White finishes the job. All right. Nice job as Tamu White, though, will lose out on Grap. They'll have to put themselves on another recovery. I don't even think we have. You got one crafter all the way down south that you might run into Bellevue to utilize. Go Tamu White. I mean, yeah, they got their KP, but their journey might come to an end here. We're getting a little bit of some frame lag in game, so I apologize for that. Oh, no. Right, well, I have to tune in and watch it. Here comes Juxie. And this is just how it goes. You give yourself away, you present yourself in zone, and I mean, you are ticking, but here comes Vattery from the other side. Point blank with the 45, 51 found there, trying to phase this one out. Just gives Vattery the time to catch up there from the other angle. There's the cracks they need. Couple of G7 scout spots, and now you're being choked out. It's a great bait from Juxie to start the fight off there, and while the height line peaks don't give them initial targets to boot, couple of arc stars and nades down might lead to a bit more here. I mean, we're not even playing this one. There's Arc, there's No You. Bellevue is now up to 14 KP, and I worry for the other portions of the lobby here. This is tough, folks. This is the beginning of the end. All right, I'm doing a quick notification check. Oh, no. All right, I'm checking out this. Nice. Big fan. Oh, silver bullet. What is that? Kyrios? Vidar. Oh, my gosh. Thank you, Alex. That's a Christmas gift and a half. All right, folks, I'm back. I'm in it. I'm with it. I'm back to Bellevue. You call the Bellevue Braves more than dominance. Whatever that means, it just means they're here, they're ready, they're playing with you, your food, and the rest of the lobby here. Already, might miss on the crack there, and they'll push Muffins out. So, Zeph, did you see the stats of who's still left in playoffs? I think I calculated in my head. It's 3 open teams, 39 premier teams, and 38 contenders. 19 contenders. Damn. Close. All right. We'll talk about it in a second here. The Crimson Tide, they've got to make do with what might be the end of their lives here. Takes to the sky, and that's about the smartest thing I've ever seen. You see the pressure, you feel the force of Bellevue, and you just get out of dodge. KSU Black, the same can be said as we got a little push there from Southeastern. They're going to play back into their building for now, and realistically, I'm curious to see what the Crimson Tide may do. They've got themselves a roster right in front of them. Wriggling Salamander here from Alabama will start, or not Alabama, my apologies, from Florida will start this off, and a couple of Fuller Flesh Found will make what is a good Valkyrie reposition end up in potential death nonetheless. DC the Sean with another full thirst there, and Revive coming quickly through. You're left to just Abysmal up on height, letting to stand. Couple exchanges, and that's the full finish. Well, actually, no. He actually gets the knock and return there. All right, there you go. Full snipe, out and away from afar. They'll have to play this one slow. Bellevue, though, losing out on one in an exchange. Full thirst on Full Sail Armada. Try to, and no one is there to punish them. They survive. All right, we got OU, KSU, Southeastern, Davenport, Bellevue, and Florida here. Remember, Bellevue are still up for a win. Let's see how it goes. All right. OU up on height. KSU down below. Southeastern on the interior of this building, and Elixirs does get that long-range knock onto Mejia. Realistically, though, I mean, you're not able to cross this super confidently. A couple long-range exchanges from Bellevue as they'll slowly work their way in the zone. Meanwhile, I don't know what we're doing, but it's a jukesy full send on the low ground. He doesn't 1v3 this roster, thankfully, or else I would have been pretty mad. There's got to be a third party here. Someone's got to get involved. Southeastern will be wiped out, and my only question is, will we see a full send? Meanwhile, KSU Black losing out in the exchange here against Davenport. Elixirs forced for the heal, but instead caught by the nade. It's up to Limbo, and Artis, Lucas, and Matija are going to see if they can go for the full send. Ooh, they're able to get at least Kindly Monkey before the port back there. Meanwhile, Vattery looking at the OU roster on their exchange back up to height. Florida is shooting from the side here, and you have to play this one a little bit smaller on the building. Hope that Florida exchanges this one out. Still, though, Vattery looking for a re-entry. G7 Kraber on the Newcastle is outrageous. Yeah, that is a choice. Well, KSU Black, they're the next target of ire here for, well, the Bellevue Braves. One by one, that's it for them. Bellevue absolutely decimating. Meanwhile, you've got this full send potentially on the ready from OU Crimson. Florida on the backside should relieve them of the pressure to get involved. Davenport's the only team inside here. Oh my gosh. I mean, Bellevue's going to bide their time down below, but the realest thing I'll ever say is you're just waiting for Vattery to keep peeking the next roster. You know, I promised him $10 if he would just not shoot his gun till round 3, and he said that wasn't enough money, guys. All right. Bellevue itching for the send. They just can't keep it in their, well, something. Bellevue here around the backside of the castle wall. It's double crack for crack from Vattery. He's going to take the time to get a shield battery off, and OU Crimson do have those power amps available to get the exchange, but they are forced to walk this in. And walk this in they will do. Point blank, straight into Bellevue. I mean, it's a double crack on both sides, but when you're talking aim v aim here, is it a competition? Winners of last game will meet their end as we'll tune into the Florida Gators doing the same against Davenport. It is now a strict 3v3 exchange. Bellevue v Florida Gators. Jukesy to lead on the push here. Here we go. 52. Break on the crack. You've got at least the defensive bombardment to give you time, but they already utilized their dome there. Finally, to get it back in the nick of time, and you're just waiting for Vattery to slide forward. Knock for 1. Damage for 2 here. Gets punched out, but in the end, you've got no health to survive the Bellevue Braves. It was a bit of shame they didn't find the winning game 1, but they're more than happy to deliver as we pin her on to game 2. All right, I gotta see the stats on that one. I mean, I've gotta. She has cheats. Honestly, if I watched that, I might believe so too. So, game 2 here, 28 KP. 28 KP from the Bellevue Braves. 40 points on the board here. 4.4k damage from Vattery with 10. He did a 20k. Bellevue Bruins, not Braves. Bruins is terrible. I like Braves better. I'll say Bruins from now on. Find them. What is a Bruin? Can someone explain what a Bruin is to me? What is Bruin? Bruin, a bear. In children's fables, Bruin, images. This is a Bruin. That is a Bruin. Silly Bruin? Okay. This is a dog. All right. I didn't know it. Yeah, goal's already hit, Poopy. Welcome. Welcome to the broadcast. Good to see you again. Did we not know this? I really didn't. Over, under, I asked you, by the way, match point 1 quality, 4.0. It did actually manage to breach over it. We got a 5.64. So for those of you who like to bet on the under, sorry. Now, we didn't have a prediction for this game, but I'll give you one at that. Let's start a new one. And you know what? I'm just going to absolutely rip it this time because I think it deserves it. Bellevue, over, under, 15.5 KP. Over, under. That's right. I'm putting it hard. You guys got 2 minutes to hit the prediction, to hit the betting. Over, under, 15.5 KP for Bellevue. Game 1, they hit 11. Game 2, they hit 28. I'll be honest with you. I honestly can't give you a lick of confidence regarding an under on a 15.5. UCLA, UCL, fight, fight, fight. I don't know how it goes, but hey, they are a competitor at times here. We'll see what we got. Bellevue, of course, we're the first place finisher with 28. Second place is represented by the Florida Gators with 5. All right, 14. Scrim quality poorness was 0.81. At what point do scrim qualities get canceled with how low the scrim quality is? I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I would hate to impede Bellevue because they're just that much better. I don't know why I'm hiccuping. There's no reason for me to hiccup, guys. Like, I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be hiccuping right now. Either way, I'm just shocked. VOD, 30k damage. Quick wrap-up. Florida Gators, 14. 9,999 all the way from Davenport, OU, White, and West Virginia. The overall is now 60 points for Bellevue. 26 for KSU Black with 15 KP. OU Crimson with their win, 25. Tied for the higher KP, second only to Bellevue of Tamu White. Player standings. Vattery currently has 10,000 damage in 2 games. Holy my lord. He ain't real. He ain't never been real. He's a fiction of disbelief. 16 kills, 10k damage. He's... What do you even say to that? All right. We're going to jump back in game because the only thing we can do is watch what might be, I'll say it, the horrors unfold here. Jump back into game. Let's join in with our winners of Game 1, Bellevue. Is the man AFK? Is he just reacting to me, reacting to him? Because honestly, I'd take it. Because he's just that good. You know? When has he been anything but fantastic? You know what I mean? My lord. Alright, he's back. You should get canceled. Scrims should get canceled. I mean, seriously, OY. When would you make a decision to, like, at least develop a rule that basically says, hey, let's rein it in. Let's leave round 1 closed, no fighting, or something similar. Right? Like, when would you potentially consider it? Because, like, I know we have the no negative rotating rule, right? But I would love if we could do something. I wonder how that went earlier this semester. Just need to start kicking out teams that are hitting 10 times half the people. See, but you, like, okay, not Corey, you can't punish Bellevue for being good, right? I know people would hate the concept of don't fight zone 1 or something similar, but this... We get it. You can fight squads. Can we practice like a late game? You know? It's just something you've got to consider at this point, especially as the competition continues to evolve. You'll always have 1 or 2 teams that are just so disgusting. I don't know. Alright. You've got West Virginia Wesleyan here, CSUN, and KSU Black all kind of presenting in the launch pad area because this is where the zone's going to finish. We probably won't see them fight each other, but I'll tell you right now, with Bellevue already on the hunt, it's pretty bad. Not Corey, like half of the teams need late game practice, but they just get folded to the point, like, what do Bellevue even gain from still playing and rolling these teams? That's a good question. I'd love to ask VOD. Like, I would genuinely love to ask VOD and the rest of the Bellevue roster, what is the benefit of just wiping the teams? Because I'll say this right now. I'll tell you what the benefit is. It's really no different in Premier League for them. The quality and caliber of these rosters isn't better. So they do genuinely get to practice against what they will see and deal with in Premier League. Right? They're mandated to play scrims by their school. Alright, that makes sense. Alright. Well, Bellevue already leads into what might be the beginning of their chaos. Muffins with a drop there onto Kai and Drake in the backside. And Vattery just barely misses out on that final knock onto Applejacks. I apologize, Swanky Squid, because you just happened to run into the worst. Dean PS doing the smart thing and waiting for the full thirst on the Kai and Drake to get himself at least some of the banners here. And if I was him, I would just run to the edge. What is negative rotating? It's when you pursue a team outside of what would be a natural progression towards the end zone. Instead of going to the final end zone, it would be like I don't know, it would be like Southeastern pursuing Guillermo, right? Going for Alabama. It's just leaving the ring, basically. Hunting down teams. That is a scrim rule that we have, but it is very easy to just hunt down teams in ring. Now, inevitably, Dean PS will be found out here from Bellevue, so that is our first squad eliminated. Granted, one thing that I will say might hold Bellevue back this time is we are contesting an entirety of squads here. PSU up above Indiana University, maybe looking for an exchange just as much here. They're going to play all the way towards the outside and leave them be. Cyber is still stuck. I don't know if he's going to be able to make their way out. It's more likely Scrims just get full wipe from existence than fully developing rules. Well, no, you can't wipe Scrims. I still need content to stream, man. Come on. Anyways, Bellevue sends it into the main building, and that's it for CSUN. And the reality is, with zone finishing and launchpad, we basically just have a team delivery system here for Bellevue. You work your way in, you give Bellevue an exchange, that's it. Castle Crasher making a decision there, actually finds quite a good send against the likes of Tamu Wipe. The Full Thirst will follow suit, but not before he meets his maker. Wriggling Salamander for the rest of the Florida Gators. Gonna be roading in the backside. Shout out to KSU Black. They do get Kindly Monkey back up on the exchange, and I mean, I just kind of worry for how things are following suit here. Let's jump on over to Full Sails Try 1 as they've got a little bit of the Crimson Armada. Well, Crimson Tide there. Full Sails Try out number 1 squads back towards Cascades for now. And that'll allow at least the full recovery from Alabama for the time being. We'll see how it faces off. Red might be found eventually. Could see something here. We got the Phil roster. Not much of a real team, but Calgary's going to treat them as if either way. All right. A couple of Full Thirsts, and you've already got Stale running for the hills here, down to Stormcatcher. Psycho, not much better themselves. She'll just fuck. I mean, it's unfair because Bellevue's just that much better. Really, these teams can learn a lot based on stacking rank or just playing with the Scrims. The biggest issue, though, is the fact that a lot of people that play Scrim slid from viewers we already have for match, and it just gets worse the more rules you add. Yeah. All right, let's tune into another wipe from Bellevue. Couple of Full Thirsts there, and Kindly Monkey's already on the way out there. I don't know if it'll get much better. They're already looking towards height to send it on to the 1 Full Sail Armada tryout roster. Yeah. Like, I see some of these teams play ranked and they just lose their team fights they shouldn't lose. KSU Gold's a top tier team without scrimming. Fair, but you guys also have 2-3 years of collegiate on your belt. In fairness. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say that confidently. Not even talk about anything. That's one of those. There's a reason other pitchers depart. My long run Reds get to. Yeah, we already had quite a bit of a chat about the scrim discussion. Let's see what happens for Bellevue here. They're not impenetrable, by the way. It just takes a good third party. The problem is, no one sends it on these exchanges. GCU has that opportunity here because Bellevue are going to send it on to Full Sail Try. Juxie on one side, already looking to peek the bat. Vattery up on height here, looking for the exchange, and they've got a little bit of a break here. Nice flesh found on Vattery, and this could lead to more. A knock onto Grapple Juice. Muffins with one more, and a final remaining shot, though. Exchange from PB and John will send them out. The question is, does GCU send this? Here we go. And the answer's no. In a moment of capitalization, GCU don't send Bellevue. So, here comes Bellevue, now ready to reset, completely able to set themselves up. We'll see a little bit of a fight there up on high ground from what could be the end of a couple squads. Psycho's already running this one back, so that's the end there. I mean, let's just watch Bellevue. We got Bellevue. The Bruins are always ready to ruin your day. Juxie up on height here, and you're lucky you've gotten out of his LOS for half a second. Back on the interior, and it's actually a good pull away for safety. Problem is, they've already made the exchange. Bellevue, quick and on the hunt here. Juxie looking for the alternative angle on the outside, and I mean, if you're sitting anywhere with windows in play, here we go though. This is nice. KSU Black with a little bit of a reset, and Bellevue do have to deal with an official third party here. Even still, though, you run straight into the action. A 2v1 for Juxie around the backside, and they've already got double flesh found while GCU are in the perimeter. I cannot make this up. GCU are point blank sitting in the building with a full KSU Black Sen. They are quaking in their boots here. At least we get a little bit of recovery for KSU Black as GCU are down 2 from the rest of the Bellevue roster. A commit up onto height will leave them lost as Limbo and Elixirs and what was supposed to be an exchange lose out on Kindly Monkey in their stead here. We'll take a look at a couple of what might be ends. Crimson Tide trying to set themselves up. Arc and the Tamu White roster with a couple of full thirsts. I mean, do you mean what I'm saying? These teams lack fundamental knowledge in mechanics and ranked. Oh, man. Well, I'll say this too, Wizard, because this is what makes it really hard. Then they get to contenders in open league, and let's just. Does he make the escape? All right, he's wriggling Sanders Lloyd. All right. Oh, we're just tridenting. Juxie doesn't even barely care here. All right. Ah! What is this world? Bye-bye, Florida. All right, who's next? Here come Vatari. Migo swing. Juxie ride car all the way up to height. You're lucky they're fence line, but Juxie don't need fences to deal with you. Another peek, more damage down. There's the fence, and you are screwed. Life is over. All right. There goes Juxie down, at least in the exchange, but now you varsity probably will never ever play Scrims ever again. Vatari and the crew with a reset. And what do we say about what any one of these other squads are even going to do? A couple of shots from afar there, and they might be put in their place now with the majority of teams here in this roster. CSUN Esports might be finding themselves at least on the rat wipeout. Looks like Davenport is knocked by USU as Calgary might represent one of our first teams actually looking to take a fight here on this at least other building. Meadsy shot all the way from afar, and I can only believe that might be Muffins. Let's see how it goes. Oh, you Crimson up on height as Tamu White are covering the doors here as best they can. That Sparrow ultimate, though, is oh so punishing. Carvester knocks upon No You. A little bit too far out of the equation. Arc holding on for dear life with the Sheilas. We're going to get No You at least back onto the inside. Trying to set up the double wall there, but it is a moment of weakness. Grap sticking the revive as Arc's doing the smart thing. Just lay down the coverage fire here. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. Bellevue has arrived. They actually do lose out on the exchange, though. They do not get these full wipes as confidently. All right. Little walkout from UFC. Vatari is low. And the King's face weakness. We've got a scrim on our hands. We've got a game. University of Calgary are unable to put themselves back together as Tamu White finished the job. It finally took Bellevue getting a little too confident in sending two teams at once. Crimson Tide here. We'll see how they finish off their exchange against USU. One final clean wipe out there as Abysmal takes just as much damage in return. It ain't as clean as you would like, and I love this third-party exchange from KSU Black to see if they can pick up what they can. Even still, though, Elixir's faces too much of a struggle and will be picked out by USU. And instead, though, Right's way, not much better to be said here, as now Limbo's going to have to cover what might be this rotate. All right. There we go. Couple of shots over towards Blank and Naxlow. Elixirs is back into the equation, and everyone's got to rotate out towards the side here. Let's talk about some actual real macro stuff now. PSU do have height here. This is a distinct advantage for a lot of these squads. Everyone else has to make their way in. Usually you can only get 1 or 2 teams in this finish. Southeastern might be able to survive on this rock, but it's going to be this collapse that is oh so punishing for these rosters. KSU Black tracking the last remaining members of USU. Flesh found. Southeastern from the edge will get that initial knock, and it is just blank. Forced to walk this one in. Down in the backfield. We'll wrap this one out for the time being. Meanwhile, KSU Black down below. Tamu on the other side in. Know You, again, a very early knock, and at least you're peeking straight into another rampart wall. OU still stuck up on height here as we got red room, rat galore. Southeastern on the outside, and PSU on the exchange. Now, this is going to pull, by the way, much closer inside launch pad than I had expected here, so potentially a very long survivability from the Crimson roster. Taking advantage of this height here really just comes down to how things finish out here. They just have to bide their time. Meanwhile, Tamu White still trying to go for this exchange against KSU Black. Wall for wall there against from Lixers. Smokes it out to get rid of the walls, and Arc will lead with a first knock found against Elixirs. Maybe a little bit too confident on the overpeak. Graf quickly jumping onto the overside will get re-knocked there on the exchange. Meanwhile, Arc stepping up here. Sheila in hand, Ree down with Kindly Monkey, and they should take the time to reset this one out here. Even still, looking for Thirst. No use trying to take this mano-y-mano here behind the boxes. Couple of runs and major cracks found. There's KSU Black will be pressured by the Tamu White roster. All 3 members back up as Limbo up to the high ground will try and survive. Somehow we lost out on, well, some of Southeastern. Not quite sure where they're trying to play this one out. They've got at least a little bit of the edge. If they only knew Crimson Tide was just a single remaining member. Well, they'll find Abysmal eventually. Southeastern finally makes for a rotate, but it kind of finds themselves right on the heart of Red Room. It's a good port play from Avery, though, that will allow Southeastern to get themselves set back up. Tamu White's going to just take their time on the exteriors. PSU, no, might be finding Southeastern here stuck in the corner. With a quick re-knock and not really much flesh to work with. No tack available. Southeastern will be wiped out. I like the exchange from Tamu White, though, to try to take advantage just as quickly. Around the corner, though, they don't have the best identification. They're going to have to play back on over to the edge there. Limbo, ratting this one out, will find Al Abysma from Alabama as we make our top 4. And in the end, he will be caught out. So, OU up on height here. Tamu White down in Red Room. And PSU on the exterior. Here's the problem. PSU, they ain't gonna fight Tamu White. Neither will fight each other. They lucky I'm retired. Lawless. Oh, man. Some of the earlier collegiate rosters would do a damn good job here. What is No You doing? Is he trying to capture this? Oh, my God, he is. He gets a steal. Oh, this could be good. Oh, a good cap. 7 seconds on the exchange. No matter what, OU are forced to drop down. Tamu kind of has a Red Room finish, but you got a lot of space being taken by PSU on the outside here. It would take a lot for PSU to lose this. All right? So, the steal doesn't work out. Now, Tamu White lies in wait here. Try to see what they can do. OU Crimson already running for the outside, and this is a really smart decision. We know you're going to have the leg put into advantage here. PSU does try to capitalize, and this might fight PSU into Oklahoma, giving Tamu White a very late climb up. They've got the castle wall available. Meanwhile, PSU trying to see if they can take advantage of Tamu White, but instead it is a split that will punish them. Slit King should have never peeked that completely alone. Now you're pinched from both angles. A couple of knocks available there. Get the break on the fence line as Graf is low. Little small trade as they're going to walk this forward wall after wall. Not much better can be said from OU as they do send it onto the low ground against PSU. The height is held here by Texas A&M. Gets a little bit of that steal, but it doesn't quite land. Incendiary and grenades coming out forward here. Need Arc to set up walls. He's got 2 available. Give Tamu space. PBZ gets a knock onto the wall against PSU here, and they're all choked out. Down to the low ground. OU will fall. Now stuck in the corner. Make it 2. OU eliminated, and Tamu White picks up the dub in Game 3. Gig 'em, Aggies. Oh, man. Oh, man. So smart. Yeah. Tough to say. I will say this. I would have liked to see Texas A&M exchange a little bit more space there, but not much to say. All right, let's go through this pretty quickly. I want to showcase something. Here we go. Scoreboard on its way. I asked y'all over under Bellevue 15.5. They deliver a 22. Congratulations to the over. Because, yes, Bellevue are one of the few rosters who can do so. Half of you didn't believe it. Half of you were wrong. Here we go. Let's get another prediction out there. Bellevue over under. I'm only going to raise it slightly. 18.5 KP. Get your predictions in. 2 minutes to go. 23, yeah, you're right, Wizard. 23 points, 22 were KP, 1 point from placement. 16 kills for Tamu White, though. Ain't too shabby either. 28 points with the first place finish. It's honestly a good game. Next closest is the 7 KP from Calgary. We saw in many of their exchanges there. Out from height before they did inevitably die to the Bellevue Tamu White exchange. So you get the PSU Blue Crimson survivabilities. We take a look at the overall. It is Bellevue still in the lead, but Tamu White does jump up and surpass both the OU and KSU Black rosters. And honestly, if Bellevue ever has a third-party stinker, maybe we get some Tamu White catch-ups. Shout out to PSU Blue. They do get a little bit of a further jump at that. Now, while we are on a small break of the early game, I want to showcase something from the community because it is, I will always do that. Right? This might not convert to any sound on vertical, so, maybe tune in a little bit elsewhere if you want to check this out. As I've said to many people before, if you ever do have something to showcase that does involve the collegiate scene, I'll do my best. All right, so, here we go. This is from West Virginia Wesleyan. This would be such a good Twitter post. I'm pretty sure it is. Congratulations to West Virginia. That's a hell of a pickup at that. So they'll have a run and a half there, and I'm curious to see where they go in spring semester because that is, and she's incredible in the women's circuit that I've seen from Celeste, and so just in Apex in general. West Virginia is already not a bad roster. I like Dean PS. I like Kai and Drake there. And that's just gonna be such an advantage. All right, guys. Prediction is hella on the under. We'll see how it goes. Who are they dropping? Oh, you Duke. I edit like I'm stuck in the early 2000s. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Never anything wrong with that. Let's jump to the in-game here. And let's join our winners from last time. Texas A&M White. Oh, new map. I forgot. We're on World's Edge. All right, so Tamu's over here in Lava Fisher. Bellevue's in big mod because you get to full send it immediately onto stacks. Get ready. It's coming in like 2 seconds here. Where is Oklahoma? Oklahoma, where the wind goes sweeping through the plains, is stuck in harvester. It's good, rotates. Yeah. Alright, well, I don't get much time to look at the rest of the map because here comes Bellevue. It ain't quite Christmas. It's still, I wish I had a Tom Turkey song to discuss. Surprisingly, it's not the first knock of the game. Instead, it's Malicious with a wipe onto Alabama's Guillermo there. Even though the fadeaway damage from Juxi will allow Vatari to go for the full push. A zip, an up to a height, a click, diddy click, as the rest of this roster. Wow, that is... I respect the attempt to hide away. I respect it, but the lifeline actually kind of gives it away with the sound and the visualization. That's about as bad as it gets. All right, we start with our first 3 KP from Bellevue. Goodbye to CSUN, and let's jump on over to Calgary because it seems like they've got a lead of their own here. Meadsy already pushing to the building. You can hear the Newcastle Orez on the other side, and they're a little bit lost trying to figure out where this is. Carvester finally pins this one down, and a little breaks on the altar shields there with the pop up to height. Bellevue's wiping Indiana in the kill feed, by the way. Alright. Lost Aimers finally gets the re-knock there as Meadsy and the other crew are, well, more than happy to choke you out in the corner. That's it for Southeastern. Let's take a look at Bellevue because it's left up to Muffins to get the job done. Tries to move this one in. It's going to stick the revive against Vatari. Cyber, not much better himself. Pops out with the nade. Should have shot the gun. Instead, you give Bellevue the chance to reset. And while the incendiary is good, you've already lost the time. Out through the edge, in through the crack. And that's another 3 KP from Bellevue. No third party there. Bellevue gets the full reset. Let's jump on over to West Virginia Wesleyan because it looks like they're getting pushed up on height here. Elixir's trying to look for the heady peak there. Already back on the vantage for the sake of the Zephyr broadcast, I think. Woo, good damage from the other end, and you have to wonder why. Oh, it's because of the Sparrow ultimate. Well, they climb up in the wrong piece of time here. West Virginia take that to their advantage. Little drill back there, and Kyan Drake and Dean PS are the leading 2 fraggers of this roster, so a little bit too further forward there from Elixirs as the banner is picked up there. Trying to choke this one out, utilizing that new bouncing tech, but instead it's just Dean PS funneling themselves into the exchange. Now running for the actual launch site POI. Will Kyan Drake actually make it out of this? A big problem is they are running towards OU, who I think might actually lose out on the exchange. Kindly Monkey isn't too far away, but there's a big range to run here when it comes to tree. Hey, Zephyr, which Octane admin would you not let date your sister? I don't know them well enough. I apologize. All of them? No, real talk, I'd let them all date them. Why? Because that shows you have commitment and dedication to something passionate that goes beyond you. No one has to do that for Octane, right? It takes a lot of love. Oh, why? That's why my answer is oh, why. No, OS great, dude. I love that guy. All right, well, we got a little bit of fighting all across the board here. Plenty of teams playing Gatekeeper on the edge. I'd like to see maybe some more distinct rotates in. In the end, it does seem like West Virginia are able to find themselves a place of recovery out towards the north. KSU v OU potentially in a second. Let's jump on over to our next scheduled Bellevue excursion. The Bruins here always love to highlight the weakness of any one of your rosters. If you're playing Scrims, pick up the... potentially find yourself maybe something else to do because Bellevue will pick you apart weakness per weakness here. Sparrow ultimate on the door will break the walls down. Muffins with the first knock that comes at the cost of the Stinger Bolt, and while the Pylon will delay the exchange, Juxi and Muffins are all looking the same here. Muffins on the outerior. Vatari just as quick to move to the inside, and he'll take a shot from both angles here. Davenport, though, just as quickly face a re-knock on the other end. They're going to be blocked out on the door as they pop the door down. I mean, there is no Davenport. It is all said and done. It's a quick 3 KP. Meanwhile, I don't know what much better it looks like for KSU. They run straight into the open and waiting arms of OU there, trying to get just as aggressive. Take their time. It's kind of hard to rush into a Watson Newcastle fence line, guys. I don't know what we're trying to do here. Yeah, I would not be playing that one out. I don't know also why we're all playing on the edge of zone here. Please rotate. Now, whether it be a Watson fence line down, there doesn't seem to be a pylon involved here. Elixir's from the other side, quickly faces a knock there. An interceder with the double Mobies. Makes for a raw trade at that. Juxi is solo rotating all the way towards the edge. Vatari not far away here at the heart of zone. Meanwhile, GCU done and dusted. As now we're looking at the Vatari cleanup clue. Up on height. There goes Kindly Monkey. And what KSU were unable to do, I can imagine they'll make it easy. Zephyr, who would win in a fight? Geralt, Rivia, or Aragorn? Geralt. Aragorn is still just but a human. He is a dope human, but so is Geralt. Well, we're point blank into OU. West Virginia Wesleyan do find the wipe here on the western side of tree. Or me? Oh, it's neither. Fence line for fence line. Juxi is lows. We're going to see a couple of teleports out and away down below here. Meanwhile, though, I mean, Vatari and crew are just waiting for you to make a bad rotate. You're lucky they have to reload because all of you are flesh, and they're coming. Aragorn is a Dundane. Consider me a fool. I don't know much about Lord of the Rings. My apologies. I don't know enough about Lord of the Rings to give you a confident answer there. I don't know why you trust me. Not a bad rotate. Honestly, I think it was made in the nick of time at this point. The problem with this rotate, though, is that you're heavily trackable, and they're coming for you no matter what, right? I mean, I guess it's the difference between standing your ground elsewhere with a little bit more confidence and, well, whatever this is now. Couple of flesh found, and we're literally just picking this apart damage for damage. With the zone closing in, you really don't have anywhere to go. That's a presso knock. Muffins, Juxi, Vatari are more than happy to spell out the remnants of your roster. Un more for Pobisi, and for the Oklahoma Boomer Sooner, get out of Dodge. The Bellevue cleanup is more than available. And now West Virginia Wesleyan tries to see if they can spell out a little bit of a reverse rotate, but are no more successful than that. 1v1 scenarios here for the Phil team as they end up eliminated at the cost of the USU Goats. We'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, Varsity, last time around, absolutely sent upon by Bellevue. This time around, Crimson Tide not too far away. KSU Black wins. When in doubt, bet on Black. Good time. Aragorn's a good player, but Geralt's going to handle what you don't think you handle. Yeah, I mean, remember, that man deals with all kinds of a creature. Not that Aragorn doesn't, but I feel like it's his literal life's mission to deal with executing all the monster. Well, Bellevue has a secluded 3v3 against West Virginia. You can only hope Calgary's going to take advantage of this. Nade for nade will delay them, but maybe a port plays on its way through. Already pushing into the West Virginia building there. 45 with a quick reload. Already popping out for the hipfire. And Muffins does get the exchange in Dean PS, but is shot in the back. Please, Calgary. Please, Calgary. Vatari up on high here. Able to get a little bit of a stick there with the hush. And come on, Calgary. You know you've got to send this immediately. All right, point blank. Meadsy is trained and focused. Nice shield swap. There's the crack. Carvester leading with the headway here. Around the bend in the corner. They've lost Bellevue. They don't quite know where Vatari has gone. Oh, but he's going to give himself away. 60 on the crack. 46 no better. Oh, no. They're letting Vatari get away. Oh. The only saving grace is that I don't really see, other than the recovery banners, much else to be said there. Gonna be the Crimson Tide meeting their maker at the hands of Tamu White. As we got, I mean, I don't even know what macro I can talk about. I just want to see the end of Vatari, guys. Okay, there's the Sparrow ultimate. Doesn't tick out, so there's no slow on him. Still's going to be able to take advantage of the Bangalore passive, but, I mean, he could run into KSU, who, I mean, I'm more interested in this. Now Varsity, pin for pin with a little bit of the exterior rotate from afar here. Nice swing from Limbo. 45 and a couple of full thirsts. Meanwhile, Florida moving in just as quickly. Oh, this is it. This is it, guys. This is the end of Vaudry. Plant yourself. Put a shot on the board. 22. 11 for 33. A Sparrow ultimate will tick, and Carvester will be shot in behind. USU from the other end. They get the crack on Vaudry. Who will earn themselves the trophy here? Out and away through the geyser for another day. Vaudry survives. Meanwhile, we got pinch for pinch here. Florida Gators on the interior. Tamu White down below. A full commit from Grab onto KSU Black to finish the fight. But you've got PSU working their way in. Side for side. A little bit of a height advantage against Tamu. But realistically, they're just not hitting those shots. Sleep King will lead towards the truck line. They've got a bit of a crack on the burn there. Tamu White, though, not really able to get themselves situated like these reverse rotates from Jasper. Still, bat found, but in the end, No You is knock drop successfully. Couple of exchanges there, and they'll get the full thirst as, well, Grap and Ark are going to play on the inside. Shout out to CSUN. They actually play the zone. All right. Sleep Kling's going to make an exchange as Vaudry will get a couple of quick shots behind there. Might be an extra piece of KP for Vaudry. Quick heal, as we did get a little bit of DC the Sean, probably. See, we got Calgary on the outside. USU Goats down below. Tamu White stuck as a duo. At least make their way out to cart here, but USU are going to look for this alternative rotate out towards the edge, knowing it might be a 3v3 here. Trade for trade. It's a couple of good switches, and you've got nothing but flesh to work with. The Law is going to get that with the Rolling Thunder, and as you try to heal it up, Grap, that last remaining individual, will never be found out. That's your winners from last game here. Now, the USU Goats still having to work their way in. Calgary's going to take their time and play this one back against CSUN. I like the rotate from Florida here. PSUN did lose out entirely on Sleep King because of Vaudry. Now Naxlow, the good knock drop. Don't know if we're going to see much on a rotate here from Jasper. Up on the climb and is able to get into safety. It's still a big loss for them. Nah, God damn it. We waited too long. He got a banner reset. Here comes Bellevue, here comes Bellevue, right with Muffins and Jukesy. Both members down as they come from the crown. USU are close. Please punish this. Please punish this. Please, please punish this, please. Instead, there'll be the Bellevue on your screen doing what they please. Alright, that was a terrible song and it burned your ears, but USU are about to find out what they screwed up on. Quick knocks on Goth Mommy. Barely a breath shared by Naxlow. And as Faith would have it, the USU Goats are obliterated. Florida Gators share space against Calgary, and all you're doing is signing yourself up for the dominance of Bellevue here in just but a moment. Port for port, and they are looking towards CSU. I think this fight's going to start a hell of a lot sooner here. Vaudry point blank, flesh for flesh, does get knocked. Jukesy's going to pull this one away for the time being. They don't have a lot to trade with. Instead, double Sparrow ultimates will push them back. If I was CSUN, I would make an exchange here. Instead, they're going to let this revive come through because they're playing it too small. Matt Stakey, welcome to the broadcast. Severo Collegiate Tournament has ended 100% raised. That's right. We'll get that one all signed up and ready. DC the Sean popped out on the backside as Bellevue get to re-enter this fight for free. I like Florida, though. Ready and waiting for the third party. Full thirst there onto R.D. Patrick's. I mean, and if you're CSUN, if you want to survive for any more placement, just run away. We got a duo. We got a duo. And we got Bellevue. The only full 3-man roster. Could you believe less than 10 minutes ago this roster was stuck as a solo? Couple full thirsts from Jukesy there. Don't mind the spectator feed. Very tiny hands. Might be picked out by the Rolling Thunder. Meanwhile, Bellevue, a full 3-man force. We're going to lose out a little bit on connection here in this final moment. CSU and M Black, full committed there. Does find a good break, but he can't quite pull it. There it is, though! Get the full thirst. Get the full thirst. Come on. Just peek for it. Peek for it. Oh, my God. Up on height. No! He doesn't get it. Still, though, Bellevue aren't really going to be able to make this exchange all the way down to the low ground. So Calgary might be the actual full 3 they have to deal with here. Oh, my God. Okay. Calgary is 3. DC the Sean just revived for Florida. They dropped to the low ground, and they've stuck the revive on Jukesy. A teleport back up to height, and it is sniped out by Jukesy just as quickly. They're just not going to look for it. Okay, this is good. I respect this from Carvester and Lost Tamer. They know this isn't the optimal move. They know they're being slowed out there, but, I mean, just to pressure this. It pushes Bellevue oh so closer into the likes of Florida here, but just as quickly as I say that, Vattery is more than available to pressure this back. Couple of shots will resonate. Calgary pulls themselves back together, flesh found on Lost Tamer. And you've just given themselves the exchange on Bellevue. Well, Bellevue now looking for their own excursion, and they're a hell of a lot more confident than the likes of Calgary. Swing around the backside, down for Lost Tamer. One final remaining member, and I'll tell you right now, the Florida Gators are not going to be moving quick enough here for this to truly matter. Meadsy playing this as a rat down below, and Bellevue basically turns this into a straight 3v3. Unless you have Meadsy get involved. I mean, look at this. Ooh. Even still, though, Jukesy kind of smart with it down below. Does understand that Meadsy is down here with him, but is playing small. This does separate the roster. Welcome back, Bulldog21 Kush. Finisher would have given him a full kill. Well, you know what? I'll give him the end of Meadsy. I don't know what that graphical fragment is. All right, that's it for Calgary. Now, here's the thing. Vattery's trade for trade, point blank down below, but that's enough damage to seal the deal. I mean, Wriggling Salamander, they've got it. Bellevue does loot out on height, so you're able to get maybe just a little bit of time to get the revives back up. I mean, try to pin it where you see fit. Could just extend to the zip line to get these on the recovery, but the minute you fall down here, we're just looking at another Bellevue dub. A beautiful ring punish, a teleport up to height. We've lost him in the sauce, but in the end, it is but a single bitty-witty shot to put Bellevue back on top. My lord. What are we doing? I can't believe we have 2 more games of this because that's just nasty. It's just gross. Bellevue finished with 28 kills again. For those of you I asked in the predictions, over, under 18.5 KP, it is the over. 28.5. They are the winner. Here we go. Let's get another prediction on the board. I promise you there will be more points for the future. You're going to want to use them. I'm putting it at 20.5. 20.5 KP. 2 minutes to go. Get your bets in. Nick Lawless, best coach. Best coach. I'll try. Send me an invite to call it coach, y'all. And get some free Lawless coaching while you're at it. Why not? Bellevue dominate. They are allowed to slink away in that game so much more aggressively than any roster should have been able to. We've got a hell of a bet on the under. Is anybody willing to take the over here on Bellevue? 20-something KP. There's 8 kills for Calgary, 0 for the Florida Gators, even though they survived to second. 5-6 down. Let's take a look at the overall. 123 points with a double win in a second place. 89 KP, and you can't make this up. Tamu White retained their second place finish in the KSU Black roster, only jump up by 1, overtaking OU Crimson here. University of Calgary, 26 respectively. Damn, that's tough for Florida with no KP. I know. Florida Gators, though, with 2 second place finishes, Falcon. That one had KP in the second game. All right, so not bad. All right, 2-minute break. I need to get some water before I overheat, and a quick bathroom break before we get into game 2. I'm going to keep it on the score line so you guys can read it. Just give me 2 seconds. All right, folks, I'm back. It is quite toasty in my room today, and that's all right. How you guys doing? I know I don't talk to you super much while I'm in the game. It's a lot of just Zephyr. Happy to chat with y'all while we can, but you know. Let's get back into game shortly here. I'm just very quickly getting rid of some notifications on Discord. Final thoughts, 123 for Bellevue. Tamu White, by the way, a hefty lead themselves. 43 KP is really nothing to scoff at this lobby when you got Bellevue sucking up the rest like a sponge. KSU Black, OU Crimson, kind of competing against each other. Maybe we'll keep track of that. Maybe put some stakes on the line naturally. All right. With that, let's jump into our penultimate game here. Of course, that's the button to do it. Jasper is in the top 10. He might. Oh, never mind. We're still in here. Might be the best open player. I'd say that, but technically, I'm pretty sure he's eliminated, right? If we're talking about who's left in Premier playoffs, pretty sure he's eliminated already. So, what are we saying about that? I'm stream sniping. Please ban me. Oh, no. Oh, no. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Hideouts? Yeah. He's been cheating the whole time. Yeah. No. No, it's pretty small. I've seen it before. Yeah, it's pretty tiny. Yeah. Like all cheaters. Yeah. Yeah. You gonna ban him? All right. I just got off the phone with Hideouts. You're done, Voddery. You're done. You're done. Chill. Don't expose me. Sorry to say it, bud. I've seen his cheats, bro. I've seen his cheats. They're small, they're tiny. It's sad. All right. Ooh, Tamu Esports is hosting one final get together. It's study social with snacks and drinks, Spirit Ice Arena social, or FNAF 2 movie watch party. 120 points in 4 games. Yep, it's about as bad as it gets here. Oh, I gotta leave the custom match. Let me put it back on the scoreboard so I don't reveal any trademark secrets here. Highly important. If you divide 120 by... I could do that too if you divide it by 120 by 10. Brother, you are not putting up 12 points per... Well, actually, you might. You're Aethers. You're UFC. Albeit, I'm pretty sure you guys are somewhat behind 4 games in. You guys are 6 points per game right now, roughly. Okay. So, getting a new code there while we wait. There we go. All right. In the observer. Let me jump back over. There you guys go. Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm eating soup. What do you mean you're eating soup? Yo, who do I play since Alter is banned? Bloodhound. Yeah, rip the Bloodhound, bro. I know they've gutted the kit and literally put it on every single recon. But yeah. I mean, I'm eating soup. Why are you at the soup store? You guys want to see something I'm passionate about, by the way, while we wait? Check this out. So, I'm a big Gunpla guy. Look at this little dude. I haven't worked on Gunpla in a really long time, and so I've been doing this one, and I finally finished the right leg today. Look at the articulation on these. It's so crazy. Look at that. You cannot buy an action figure with that much articulability for $20 anywhere else. Seriously. And so this whole thing will turn into an entire Gundam. I still have to finish a lot of the stickers and designs and things. But it takes a lot to build them. Little Zephyr hobby while we wait. But that's what I've been doing with my free time. When I'm not working on this and trying to make my $10 a night. Nah, I'm kidding. I don't even make $10. All right. It is hot in here. Whenever my nose starts itching, it's hot in here. Japan on top. Why do you say that? Japan on top. Why, habaneros? Gonna love the comp. Gonna love the comp. Oh, no. Oh, no. What did we do? Alright, we got... Oh, my God. He really did it. Oh, God. We're playing... Oh, jeez. You've broken me. You killed me. While I was getting into game, you've destroyed me. In this moment, my ping is now 300 because of you. Arguably, Phil Team better comp. Ooh. Ooh. Where's Phil Team? Where's not Koryu? That's how I look for it. Guys, am I stupid? Am I just missing them? Oh my God, what is this? Loba Octane. Alright, well, I want to see it. I mean, I can work with a little bit of ballistic, but Not much more to say there. My lord, I am getting the worst ping on this server right now. Couple of long-range shots from Stale, and I can't imagine we'll be looking at what might be a little bit better of anything from these rosters. PSU Blue gonna try to step up as best they can, and my lord, why are the Apex servers chugging right now? Alright, finally looking for the fish. That's the Octane ultimate. Flesh found, and surprisingly, it is a pretty good solid knock to start out with. There goes Jasper. PK around the back from Psycho, and he'll make use of that extra speed to get the job done. Couple of full thirsts, and we're already running away here towards Epicenter. Kind of a dub. Kind of a fat dub for the Phil team, folks. They're going to stick that revive, and Sleep King, they got your number, bud. All right. CSUN coming to their end as we'll look at Bellevue. Full health here, even though there are 3 squads. They'll turn their attention towards the stronger squad to give themselves a definitive advantage. Muffins with a knockdown to factor against Indiana. Couple full thirsts as Cyber will go down there. Jukesy up on high as they look for this chase out and around the back, and you're really just biding your time for what will be additional failure. Indiana University completely wiped out there, and you gotta give credit where it's due to zero D's ruts. All right, whatever. They run. Let's take a look at Tamu White here competing for space against OU Crimson. They've actually lost out on just about everything already. Quick zip line out through the backside, and you're kind of just running straight into more Tamu. That's it for Interceder, and shout out where it's due to Presso. Does play down to the low ground, but just as quickly, you might be seeing the full send here by FSA try 2. We'll say goodbye in the kill feed to the Florida Gators at the hands of what I believe is USU, but I mean, place for place, these teams have at least set themselves up for a bit of a slower take here. Hopefully. Full Sail's taking their time. Meanwhile, UFC does get an exchange there. They tried to send it on the final remaining member of Southeastern, but instead take a chunk of damage in their backside. Now they've lost out on the Aimer Man. I mean, they're going to get this revive immediately through Meadsy, so Carvester taking his time to try and push this one forward. Where's Limbo? All right, we're point blank KSU Black. They make a hefty rotation all the way to the side of the MAC, and that's it for Full Sail Armada's first tryout roster. I think it's Bellevue time again. All right. Here comes Bellevue. Here comes Bellevue. Ready for another KP. All right, I'm not going to do that. Jukesy, though, does take a little bit more than he can chew there. Is shot in the back by Dean PS. The West Virginia Wesleyan roster ain't the worst here. Dean PS and Kyan Drake on the hunt. Vattery already making quite a bit of an exchange all the way back here towards the northern side with launch site underway. Muffins quite a bit further back here, so even if Vattery does go down from the exchange, they've got it. When he can sing too, Brother Falcons. I can sing low music. We can do karaoke night. Oh my god, you guys want to do a collegiate karaoke night? Who's ready for collegiate karaoke? I am. Oh man, that would actually be so fun. Oh, we got trades for trades. Lottery's holding on here. West Virginia are so far forward as the rest of these rosters are getting picked apart. I don't know if we'll see much more at that. Jukesy is trying to crawl all the way back. Now, GCU are wiped out by Tamu over there in the west. Lottery's getting pinned out there. A little bit of the flush down. All right. Well, I can't say this is fantastic for them. It's really one bad shot here away from Vattery getting pinned out there. Meanwhile, SNHU, I mean, wipes of their own wherever they are. Somewhere. Let's jump on over to Tamu White. I'm kind of bored of watching Bellevue. Southeastern will inevitably be found out by UFC. They took their time here. Meanwhile, Grap leading for a hike to see if they can get the advantage. Oh, Guillermo didn't even get to make a response there. I don't even know if he heard the climb up because he definitely wasn't playing like he should. Right Sway and Abysmal, though, did manage to make their way all the way out in the exchange. Now we tune into Vodder. They've lost out on Dean PS. Full thirst there from West Virginia. Trade for trade against Kai and Drake, and Voddery wins these 10 times out of 10. Watch that. That's the caster curse. Ooh, out around the wall there. My lord. Keeps it up, and, well, good job for West Virginia Wesleyan. They are still a duo, but they literally have the crafter right alongside them. Take a look at the Crimson Tide getting their revive just as quickly as that. Davenport on the ready to try to punch him, but just as quickly as I say that, nades will blast them out. D-I-U-I-M bullet bait is absorbing them like a magnet here. Back to the inside for Davenport. You've got Now and Alabama trying to push the situation. As a result, that's going to give Davenport maybe the opportunity to get this revive off back on the inside. We'll take a look at Tamu White. They're losing out on their end here. As that'll be the Kennesaw Black roster finishing the job. Oh boy, guys, I'm losing it. All right, let's see if Now can actually full send Davenport here. Did Calgary die? Nope, nope. They're still alive up north. Senior C22 here. Door to be broken. Do get that wall down, and oh my gosh, you have the peak. Shoot the gun. Oh no, now you're just empowering Davenport to do something here. You can hear a little bit of those heels on the outside, and neither one of these teams are actually looking for a send that matters. Well, point blank over towards the edge. Matiha onto the outside here. They don't really have a good read on where Now is. Meanwhile, Kindly Monkey and the rest of the KSU Black roster finishing off Tamu White. Why is Voddery all the way over here? I'll tell you why. It's to look for more KP. My gosh. Now, shot in the back, and I can only imagine Juxie's one good climb up or horizon grav lift away from full sending behind you. Watch. Here he comes. Out and around the back. Chunks of damage. A manual gamer there. Bing, bam, bop. Full knock. Couple of additional shots, and Voddery, I mean, he's putting them down. Davenport's on the outside, and we're almost able to punch that out. Meanwhile, Stale does rotate around the back. The Rampage almost commits to a full wipe there. Has that balloon available or the Q to follow suit. Instead, shot off that evac just as quickly out from the sky, and it's a knock from Voddery. Here comes Juxie and Muffins. My lord. Full thirst on to Stale, and what comp I even wanted to see doesn't get to really work here, especially when you're running point blank into Bellevue. Zero D's ruts will already be found out from Psyche there as, well, Bellevue's just covering edge for edge. CNSU. Gotta hope that Encounter Core just slowly plays this tight. There goes Psycho. Out over towards the side. Run and gun as you can. Voddery, though, does hear this. Right on the inside there, waiting for the attack. Instead, finds one stuck in the corner. Will get the knock, but not before Flesh is found. Massive exchanges expended from the LMG there, and I mean, you still get the full fill finish. I do like the full thirst. It's a good full thirst. Good punish. Now, usually I would start to discuss Psycho owns Voddery. Maybe. Either way, they get the beacon revive with no punishment. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Oklahoma pushing for a height, and they'll finish off the Crimson Tide. I don't know if we'll see any more exchanges from Now Varsity as they're stuck on the low ground, probably to play the center spire. Meanwhile, CSUN, a revive of their own in a zone close with 34 seconds. Technically Davenport. No, Davenport. Get out of your building and cover the height rotation. Do not let Bellevue get this for free. It's too late. 52. A crack with 36. Juxie's basically gotten the job done here. Couple of long-range knocks from OU as they're going to look for the re-entry here. And yeah, Bellevue's trying to pick what sides they really want to get involved with. A major, massive crack and flush found. No, they're still going to send the building. You chose poorly. All right, here we go. Well, there goes Node Uno. Peeks through the other side. Singularity blown by the pylon. But does it matter when you still find DUIM bullet bait? A quick run to the other side. And with a couple of shots coming through here from Countdown, Bellevue still do need to invest in this fight efficiently. There's a couple teams that might have a word to pick with you. In the end, there goes Bellevue. Let's take a look at OU Crimson. They're defending against now and what might be KSU Black. This is actually a more even fight than Bellevue. Couple shots in the backside there from Elixirs, and that's going to slow this one down. Meanwhile, now is trying to posture this over on the edge. Couple of nades, see if they can get a couple quick blasts, but they're going to just pull this one back, building for building here. Meanwhile, we are going to be moving direct back into staging. So, I don't know what that'll look like. PSU, they'll instead turn their attention towards Calgary. They already got the drop down on the Lost Aimer. Couple of good shots from Sleep King, but just as much from the Sentinel. Here comes Jasper, peeks around the box, but misses the PK shot when it critically matters most. Quick fadeaway from Calgary, back onto the inside, sticking at least a little bit of the res, utilizing the quick thing. Here we go. Able to get the reset there as the Sparrow ultimate misses its position. Meanwhile, just as quickly, you do have the rest of these lobbies coming in. Bellevue, never too slow to find themselves some KP. Already a couple of pins here. I mean, shout out to CSUN. They're going to survive through the very, very bitter end. OU with a quick zip line in the back, shot out from Limbo, and I can imagine KSU's going to follow suit just as quickly here. Oh, but Limbo takes just as much in return. Here we go. Man, Bellevue. All right, let's see how it goes. OU with the quick reset down there. Already, Elixir's getting shot in the back. Gonna leap forward, and I can imagine you might land in the face of Bellevue. Kindly Monkey and the rest of crew, though, not looking much better here. Here comes Bellevue out to start peeking the very, very edge. Elixir's got to start running this one away if he wants to be any kind of useful. Instead, just barely is about to give this one over to Bellevue. Here we go. Bing, bam, bop. Couple from top. KSU Black eliminated. I don't know if we got much more in the tank here. I mean, we're just choking them out. It is a full OU roster, but the hell, the zone's doing more damage than Bellevue. Newcastle's ult won't even make it in time. That's it for Crimson. And we're down to our final three. CSUN has survived. UFC on the exterior. And, well, the win for Bellevue couldn't come any more sweet here. A Sparrow ultimate is wasted in its positioning because there's just so much room in the final zone. By the way, Swanky, I see your message about the podcast. We'll talk about it after the Bellevue W. CSUN does sneak through from the low ground and actually tries to get the sneak up on the stairwell, but when you make that exchange, you gotta have it count. Instead, Juxie now trying to see if they can get the heady peek, but this is pretty good from Calgary. They take their time. Problem is, Bellevue's going to have land staking control over this height as Calgary is forced to drop down to the low ground here. Ooh, Juxie point blank here right in the face of this whole roster. It's lucky at that he gets up to height. That's usually something a better team would punish for going down to the low ground that free, but they just don't have their eyes pinned on just about anyone. Lost Aimer trying to make one last cheeky exchange out here towards the edge before the end is nigh. Losing out on this height is going to be so hard to play into against Bellevue, so any kind of crack, any kind of knock. Problem is, they've given themselves away. Still, Meadsy with a long-range exchange onto Bellevue. This is the go button. Harvester takes the head, and that's the full thirst there. out through the back line. There's the knock on the Muffins just as quickly. It's left up to Juxi in the backfield. One last remaining member as they get their full thirst. Nice quick scan from the Recon Legends as you've got the backside of CUN. You've got to keep under wraps here. Singularity for singularity, and Carver's just going to secure that full thirst while they can. That Newcastle wall doesn't mean jack squat. Juxi biding their time as Calgary's just as healthy here. That's it for very tiny hands, and, well, can't say Juxi's long for this world. Down on the drop, and I like a good caster curse. Congratulations to Calgary. Shout out to Meadsy. Opens that one up, finds Pandora's box, and shuts it closed just in the nick of time. Beautiful long-range Sentinel snipe that brought Vatari down. All right, predictions as always. We always start with them. I asked y'all over under Bellevue 20.5 KP coming off of Game 5. They walk away with 23 KP. Congratulations to the over. You still made it. If you took the over every single time, you would have done it. All right, our leading winner was Calgary, so they've had a 15-point, an 8-point, a 7-point, a little bit of a duddy, a little bit of a 1. Let's put them at 7.5. All right, here we go. Over, under, U of C, 7.5, KP. Last bet of the day. Here you go. This scrim has felt like getting shot in the knees. No, Totem of the Oranges, this scrim has felt like getting taken out back, getting absolutely tortured, bone shattered, knuckles cracked, life destroyed, and then, just kind of choking it out. For those of you who may not watch Collegiate very often, I promise you, even Premier League is even slightly better than this. I mean, quality score, we're down to a 0. We're down to a 0. What should the comp be this game? More Vantage. Vantage, Loba, Seer. No, I want a Catalyst. Vantage, Catalyst, Seer. I want a Catalyst. I like Catalyst. Loba, Rampart. You can't play Rampart. It's banned. We do have bans. All right. Thank you, KSU. Swanky. By the way, your bets come in at the end. It's the under for UFC. All right, cool. Swanky, I would totally like to do more content. I am hesitant with the podcast because, one, I've done podcasts in the past. I did something called the Hot Zone, and I really just didn't enjoy it, Because unless you're super creative, every week just kind of feels like reiterating the same thing. Not a podcast, a 5-minute sports center style thing at the end. See, but even that, I'm like, it's not bad, but it also feels, I'm happy. I think an interview would be the next step. Getting an interview with players that do super well. I think that would be the next step for me. It's really not hard to pull off. Best and worst in each lobby. See, I can totally see us getting the best. I'd be shocked if the worst team in the lobby would be willing to take the interview. We'd have to work our way up. We'd start at 20th and then slowly climb up 19th, 18th until we got someone willing to take an interview. By the way, that game finishes Bellevue 32. UFC, even with the dub, doesn't come close. First zone there. 12 points for CSU and Black surviving to 3, but no one else really gets any KP. Overall now, Bellevue 155. As Jack was saying a little bit earlier, Vatari is at 23,000. He would need 6.5 to make his way up to 30,000. 23,000 in a scrim is already insane. For Bellevue to make it, or for Vatari to make it any higher, you need to have Juxie stop stealing damage. Phil team has made you even more proud with this comp. Trust. All right. 4,000 shots is ridiculous. It is a little ridiculous. All right, guys. Let's get into the end-all, be-all, the final game of the day. One last Bellevue to take a look at. One last game to take a look at. Really quickly, I have to check to see if this is processing correctly, because Apex has given us struggles tonight. Alright. I gotta say, if you like high quality, YouTube looks a lot better. Sometimes. Whatever. I'm streaming at like 13 something bitrate. So, KSU gives me my comp I asked for, Vantage Seer with the Catalyst. I'm a big fan. We doubled up on, it's not terrible. You got info. It's double recon. What am I talking about? Meanwhile, Stale AF is Vantage Ballistic Bloodhound. God, what are we doing? I've seen a Reptar game with 0 damage as Loba. I think we've all been there. Alright. Southeastern. Maybe getting pounced upon. Meadsy last time led with this exchange. They are separate. One is in trials right now, so last time around they choked them out here. Still. Maybe going to see a quick recovery up to height and maybe back up there. Even still, Southeastern's trying to train their control. There is no alter to make the exchange up to height or anything else. Even still, Meadsy does a great job getting these kind of longer rotates. Even still is found. Southeastern's doing a really good job of spelling their weakness, but shot from afar from Carvister. Now they know they have the advantage. Well, what can you say? There's a very good incendiary grenade to try to even the playing field. Or not even the playing field, just kick this one off. Idea shot out as they peek up the height. The fence line ain't even in the right position. CSU and Sports will be wiped out by the likes of Bellevue. But we've seen that time out, time in. Come on. UC looking. That mobile shield makes this exchange quite a bit harder. Carb, though, still trying to get up there. Even still, finally, lost aimer. Meadsy up on height. Meadsy on the outside, and with one final remaining member. There you go. You make the exchange. Oh, no. Oh, no. They've lost the 1v1. Oh, my God. Door for door. Oh, that's smart. Sticking the revive, but wrapped from behind. Psyche. Full sail try two. Maybe a couple of full thirsts, and they're going to let this one get away. Bellevue finishes off their bottom right corner of the map for their 6 KP. Oh my gosh, they took too long. Southeastern is back as a full 3. There goes full sail try. How's Tamu? Tamu wipes out the Crimson Tide. We are literally non-stop full sending it here. Is Meadsy? Yeah, Meadsy's still down. Alright, let's take a look at anything else because that went too long. That boy Carby's on Bloodhound because Sparrow's man is playing Minecraft. I respect it. You want to respect more? Good response from Oklahoma. Drops down to the low ground now. See if they can get this exchange off. Instead, the full thirst is all but through. DUI and bullet bait. And Mattia trying to see if he can maybe get that port out of the equation. There you go. More than safe. Let's see the re-engage. Southeastern versus Calgary. Back together again. Gotta keep checking because we might have the full send for Full Sail Armada. Dude, I hate when my nose gets itchy when it gets hot in this room. It's so itchy. Alright. Alright, we gotta watch at least one Vatari clip. Vatari from the other side. West Virginia already playing this one out onto height. Muffins gets burned just as quickly, but it's still a trade onto Applejacks. Quick dive up to height, and West Virginia are done and dusted. Okay. Exchange for exchange. We've seen Calgary roughly come out on top of this, but it came down to a 1v1. Harvester with the climb to height. PK finds 44 for Calgary to restart this fight. I swear, it's printed in canon. You can't avoid it. You gotta have Southeastern and Calgary finish the job here. A little bit of an enemy shield broken as Meadsy will go down. Ideas with a bit of an exchange here. Lost Aimers no better. Harvester trying to peek this one up. Plays for defenses. The rest of Ideas and the Southeastern crew will drop down to the low ground. And we saw them lose out in the 1v1. We see them lose out in the fight. Meanwhile, Oklahoma was here. Now instead it's Tamu versus Full Sail Try 2. Good quick reset here from the Full Sail Try 2 rosters. Rap will look. They got them hook, line, and sinker in terms of exactly their position here. Come on. Out and back and around the cart. Bellevue will find the end of now as Grap gets traded from Full Sail. Up from height in the Full Sail roster. No, they'll pin Arc where they can. Oh. You're absolutely allergic to watch us do something cool. Anytime you put us in frame, it's something to watch us die. Yeah. Yeah. There's 20 teams. It's hard, guys. All right, let's watch KSU Black. All right, nice scan from the Seer. That's because of Zephyr. That's a Zephyr move. Right there, I gave them that Seer. That's me. That's all me, by the way. Blocking the doors out. Oh, I like this. Kindly Monkey choking him with the edge. Limbo with a knock on the other side. Couple Newcastle reses coming through, and they'll trade for the other end. Breaks through the mobile shields there. My lord. OU drop knocks down, turns right around from Elixirs. Beautiful alternator, double tap shots. Unable to find the further much damage, but leaps up to the sky with the Vantage instead. Not much more to work with. They'll finish that job oh so slowly. All right, let's take a look at the re-entry here from Tamu. Back against FSA. They have not moved on. There's a little bit of an extra shot from PB and John over on the eastern side. No, you likely to get caught out here. I don't know why he's playing Octane and comp, but sure as shit, here comes PB and John with literally 50 on 50 on 50. Call him Vegeta. My lord. Full Sail Armada are about to do it again. Arc and Grap are smarter than that, though. They're already rotating out. Let's take a look at the KSU Black roster because they're going to keep this one cooking here. I want to watch the entry from Limbo. He's got that shield and that scan. A couple of quick rotates out and away here from CSUN. USU, though, chunked out, and we're taking our time. Quick chase out and far from Full Sail, and ooh-wee! We'll miss just about everything. PB and John, though, teleporting with the Ash ultimate, though, to clear that distance. And I mean, we are hunting for one hardy wingman shot where we can. Down and over towards the edge. Ooh, nice 75. Perfect heady. Drops the mobile respawn beacon, and you know what? Just full send it for the final shot. Arc here over towards the side. Gonna get that no U reset as let's take a look at the edge here. CSUN versus Southeastern. Good mobile shield on the cross. Alright, trade for trade. USU on the move. I feel really bad right now. I feel like I could have a heart attack. Alright, whatever. CSUN. I mean, I don't think they've got this one. They've too much damage back. You're a little bit frayed now. No, you gets dropped immediately as Arc's going to have to keep playing for reset. I don't know why Jasper's all the way stuck in thermal, but that's a thing. All right. Meanwhile, we're kind of last moments down here for Singular Frog and Psycho. I mean, oh, Elixirs. Wait, hold on. He got the Sniper's Mark drop. No. I have a headache. I have a headache watching this, man. Anything? My Vantages? Sniper Mark? Psycho, you got full Sniper's Mark on the ready. What you doing, hun? Come on. Sleep King with the chase, and I want to see you turn around and use it. Use the Sniper's Mark. Oh, Elixirs with a little bit of a ping, but they're not really going to do anything. Alright. I do not know why this man is playing zone. If anyone can contact Jasper and ask me why he is point blank in zone for like no reason, I'd love to find out. Meanwhile, Ark thinks he's fine. He's gonna get wrapped by Jasper, and we're all gonna be sad. Well, actually, he's gonna at least get the beacon respawn there. There's Jasper, point blank. Ooh, beautiful 54 to start this one up. Over towards height. Mobile shield ain't gonna mean much here. Charge rifle in hand. Instead, Ark gets the re-knock on to the likes of Jasper. The rest of the Illini rosters all the way over towards the edge. Meanwhile, Bellevue, they've spelled some free KP out over towards the side. Nothing like a good Tamu White to paddle their saddle. Muffins and Jukesy, they're not even going to exchange much more than that. Instead, they're leaving this up to be target practice. Full thirst there. Tamu White. No Vattery on the knocks. They're going to call Jukesy and Muffins back. They want the full force. Rolling Thunder already over the thing. And the minute No You crest this hill, he is already eliminated. I promise you that. It is the minute. Here we go. Literally everybody lying in wait. There we go. Well, a couple of good shots there, and the zone won't do you in, but in the end, does it really matter? Tamu White. Done. You have the sniper's mark and you're choosing to use the longbow? Psycho. Why even play it? Why even play it? You have the sniper's mark available, and you're choosing to use the longbow? There's like 7 buildings open in zone. Interceder. When has Scrims ever reflected anything of a decision that actually makes sense? We're literally just watching Vattery and crew go building to building and wipe out squad half the time. Now, they will be chunked out by a distant chunk of USU here. Florida as a duo is covering for now. This PSU, my apologies. Come on. Psycho, use the sniper's mark for me. See, that's what you gotta do. Elixirs, he had one more bullet in the chamber. Peek it while he's still active. Peek it while he's still active. Please, for Papa. No, they're healing up. That might be a power amp on the other side. Alright, well, it's still the full send either way here. Kindly Monkey, down below. He's able to get the first sniper's mark off. I'm such a big fan of sniper's mark. Come on. Close the gap. Oh, very good blockade on the EMP. Meanwhile, window punishment there ain't gonna be perfect. Try to get that little bit of a nade to give some coverage out and over here. Meanwhile, peek from Kindly Monkey on the other side. And we're seeing a pincer attack that KSU has completely dominated. Time in, time out here. A walk down from height from Elixirs as the rest of this roster so quickly to respond. Peeks over on the side, and that alternator double tack is ferocious. But the quick peek on Elixirs goes awry here. And the rest of the KSU Black roster are no much more successful than that. Meanwhile, Bellevue, well, they love some free KP where they hear it. Limbo's out on the runaway. Fulsa Armada are trying to pin themselves together. Vattery here, able to at least make for a quick rotate around the back. Some peeking. Up on height. They're going to give that Ballistic Tempest a run for its money. Mobile shield and castle wall on the inside. Bellevue's going to get shot out just a little bit. Finally, able to go for the peak. A drop down from a blown. PB and John's going to get the response on Vattery. Jukesy with a knock on to PB and John. A couple of exchanges around the bend, and Jukesy and Muffins are down. A quick fade away from Psyche. Tries to make this one last a bit further here. Stuck against the edge of zone. Full Sail Armada beat Bellevue. Holy shiza. All right. We actually might have a real game here. Limbo, quick craft and a reset in the center zone. PSU Blue is going to try to see if they can capitalize as Full Sail are just as quickly eliminated from USU almost immediately. Revives coming through. Sleep King's on the chase. Information's found, and it's a good burn here. Even still, they'll get the knock onto Limbo. Law and Sleep King going to try to phase themselves back as Florida is already here for the third party just as much. You got to imagine USU are happy to see if they can take pot shots on this. All right, let's take a look. Full wipe on PSU. Here we go. Castle Crashers and the Wriggling Salamander trying to set themselves up. Elixir's the last remaining member to try and make my Vantage sing for me. Instead, shot by USU, shot by Florida, pinned by both. Sorry to let down the over-under. Carvey said punch him, and that guy was not low, and then I whiffed. It's okay, Meadsy. It would be really funny, though, if Southeastern win this game. Could you imagine if Southeastern are the wins that win this game from height? Or just, you know, as a team that's kind of playing zone? Alright. I don't know why Psycho is playing so small. Come on. Coach Lawless here, helping USU. Now they're doing a great job thus far. Well, we're taking our time because we're a duo. Psycho creating new Vantage meta. New Vantage meta. Don't use the Sniper's Mark for some reason. I'm serious. Just use it. Please? They're going to be the last rotating squad into zone fill team. Oh my gosh, we're already shot out. I do like this exchange up to height. It is available. Problem is, I think Psycho's knocked. Nice power amp reset there. Singular Frog does get choked out by Castle Crasher. And oh my gosh, it's a full-filled Sniper's Mark, and we're not going to get to see it used. This is like a Christmas present. And a completely wrapped Christmas present. I'm so upset. Why even do it? Alright, Florida Gators as a duo. Southeastern on the interior. A couple of hands being held by USU on the outside. Florida Gators are stuck as a duo for long. Stale AF. Now, what was that? Guys, my ballistic went crazy. Yeah, well, your Vantage left me blue ball. Alright? Be honest with you. And now Southeastern choking things out piece by piece here, but they've got USU on one side, Florida Gators on the other. USU takes the brunt of that damage. Don't mind the end, that was my cat. I'm disappointed. By the way, Donut, is it Rossier? It's a fully wrapped Christmas present, but today we're doing Hanukkah. I wish I could be witty like that, by the way. I wish I could, like, come up with cool things to say. The USU goats, they're gonna look like they're gonna chew on it. I don't know, that was also terrible. Well, nothing to do but practice. Well, out towards the fence line. The building will be lost in the end. Shout out to the Wriggling Salamander and Castle Crasher crew. They've got themselves the fence to work with this own pole, but USU are more than happy to keep pushing this. Ross A. Sia? Rossi Sia? Honestly, my pick was W. My Vantage pick. My Vantage pick was what? Your Vantage pick? You didn't use the Sniper's Mark. Why didn't you use the Sniper's Mark? Alright. Down for the final moments here. USU are going to lose out on their fence line. And the minute they do, they're in prime Southeastern punishment. Because I don't need it, I'm too good. No. You blue ball me. Oh my god. Southeastern. We point blank fuse ult. What could have been such a good controlling util here. Instead, now we're going to get choked out of zone. USU are going to train this. It could be a Florida win, guys. Unless USU send this, Florida could choke them out here. There's Southeastern with another knuckle cluster. It's finally time to move. Out through the mobile shield. Over towards the edge. USU are in point-blank territory. Oh, I cannot believe it. As a duo, the castle wall will split. USU will be revitalized, down and dead. Meanwhile, we're trying to heal. It's big PK pumps. 120 from the car. A burn in the back. Wriggling Salamander is down to his final moments, but he finds it! With just a tick of health as a duo with the resets. Florida pull it through. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's amazing. All right, guys. Oh my gosh, that was good. Finally, a big moment for Florida. You should rate Envy with Fish a big welcome to Octane. I'm good for it. Let's do that. Let's take a look at the scoreboard, though, before we get there. Southeastern 2v3'd, basically. All right. Here we go. Quick refresh on the board. Game 6 scoreboard. Bellevue with 18 kills, 20. Florida Gators with 18, though, with the 6 KP. Kind of ticking down naturally. Good KP, though, for KSU Black and FSA Tri-2. The overalls, Bellevue finishing the day with 175. Tamu White with 72. 60 for KSU Black. Calgary with 54. OU Crimson 47. The Florida Gators jump all the way up with a big win to finish off their day. And CSUN Black there with 7th. It's kind of here nor here for the rest. Very, very tight. Southeastern make a big recovery as well. And so does the USU Goats. All right, guys. I want to take the time to thank you while I have the chance here. We're going to do a quick raid onto Envy since that's the final. I mean, that's a little welcome to Octane goodbye there, or hello. Thank you for everyone coming out to Scrims today. Still trying to figure out the streaming there, but once I get on TikTok, this stuff might be a little bit crazy. Even still, this was a messy and terrible scrim. You guys came through, and more importantly than that, we finished the point standing. 500,000 points. Thank you so much. We're going to drop the draft tournament. It's going to take place here as I look on my calendar, hopefully the 13th and 14th of December. Everyone's eligible. We're gonna figure that out. I will in Octane or maybe in my Discord we'll submit a something. Game 5 quality being 0 is elite, etc. Yeah. It is what it is. It's how it goes. All right, folks. Let's get Envy here. What is Envy's Discord? Is it YMV? Yes, it is. All right. Let's do a little nice raid. Thank you guys so much for watching. It was fantastic to have y'all. Hold on, I'm raiding. 10 seconds till raid, etc. Looking for tropical slot. Oh, shut up. Let's give Envy a big welcome here. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you guys. Oh, by the way, I'll see you guys tomorrow for more scrims.